Look, there is a vehicle that we can work our way out of this, but we have to change policy. We can't change overnight the policies here at home where so many people, generations after generation, have become dependent on federal government programs. Not that we justify them morally or constitutionally, but it's just in a practical sense, it's not the place to go to try to solve our problems. You don't want to put the elderly out on the street, and you don't have to. What we need to do is address foreign policy. Our foreign policy now costs us nearly $1 trillion a year to maintain, and it's going to go up. And they're talking not only about not coming home from Iraq, they're talking about expanding the war into Iran. We need to stop that and bring them home. So we can save a lot of that money. We can save 100, 200, 300, depending on how quickly we can do it. Hundreds of billions of dollars you literally could cut down on the deficit, which would send a powerful signal to the financial markets and to the currency markets. And then take that money and tide some people over. Because your generation, the young generation, there's not enough of you. And just think, last week, what did they say? 10,000 per day are retiring, the baby boomers, and they want you to work hard. Work hard and then produce a lot. But you know what? You know, one thing about the younger generation, not only do they know how to use the internet, you've learned your arithmetic very well. The arithmetic is that the burden is being placed on your shoulders and you're getting a bum rap. Bum rap with a foot. With inheriting this war that may expand, and a bum rap with the finances. So in order to do this, we save the money, we bring our troops home, we concentrate on enhancing freedom here at home. At the same time, we can offer the young, and the young at heart, a chance to get out of the system. So I would say to the young people, if you don't think you have a good deal by paying into Social Security for the next 40 or 50 or 60 years, I'd let you get out and take care of yourselves. That's what freedom is all about, is taking care of ourselves and self-reliance and being responsible. But it also means that in the economic sense, you're responsible for what you do, you have the incentives, but you get to keep everything you earn. We have our right to our life and our right to our liberty and the right to the fruits of our labor. It means we have to get rid of the income tax and repeal the 16th Amendment. Freedom means responsibility, not only for our economic well-being, but also our personal well-being. Governments aren't instituted to tell us what we should read, not to what we put in our minds, nor into our soul. The government should be out of the business of regulating what we do with our religious values and our personal values and our political values. But at the same time, I don't think the government should be there to tell us what we put into our bodies either. Always with good intentions, the government will tell you what you can't do here, you can't smoke, you can't drink, and you can't take this. But at the same time, they take control and have that power to do that. Then they don't allow you to do the things that may be beneficial to you, like alternative medicine, taking nutritional products. And I believe strongly in freedom of choice. Not that I endorse choices, whether they're personal things or economic matters. What we have to endorse is personal choices with the assumption that you take care of yourselves and assume the responsibility. And this is what I think this country is starved for. They've heard about it, they knew about it, and they love it, and we all enjoy it to a degree. But we haven't defended it well enough on principle. That is the principle. It's personal liberty. This was the purpose of the Constitution. It wasn't to restrain people in any way. The Constitution was written, if you read it carefully, it was designed to restrain the government. The Fourth Amendment is written very clearly. The government was never to invade our privacy. But that's not the case today. Unfortunately, we are being invaded daily. But instead of a government protecting your privacy, we now have a government that protects the secrecy of the government. And government should not have that privilege. Government should be open. We should know what's going on, and the privacy of the individual should be protected. One of the great problems that we face today is the atmosphere, the post 9/11 atmosphere. Although the evidence is very clear that many plans were laid on with our foreign policy, our tax policy, and invasion of privacy, many of the bills, even the Patriot Act, was written before 9/11. So there were many in Washington around the country who wanted government to grow by leaps and bounds, and they immediately sensed that 9/11 was an opportunity that they used to do the kind of things they're doing to us today. But it is this atmosphere that occurs in a time of war that the people get lazy and careless, and people say, well, you know, if it's going to make me safer, I have to sacrifice my liberties. That is nonsense. You never have to sacrifice liberty in order to have your safety. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. The more freedom you have and more responsibility you have and the more you understand the Second Amendment, the safer you're going to be. But it's been in this last few years where our government, and it's not one party either, there's many in government, and an attitude that has changed, that we have rejected some of our best traditions, not only American tradition, but even the tradition of habeas corpus is being undermined. This we have to reverse. We have to get that back and make sure we can defend habeas corpus. This notion that one individual can declare any one of us an enemy combatant and we can be snuck away secretly and put in prison and now tortured. This is what it is coming, although this is not rampant and we don't expect it in the next few days or weeks. But it's the change of the ideas and the process that is so risky. These kind of things were fought for centuries, and we certainly have benefited by this for so long. You know, the Insurrection Act in 1803, I believe it was written, said it was very, very limited when a president can declare a national emergency. That has been all changed. Almost anything that can occur can be called a national emergency, where our civil liberties can be suspended, and we have an authoritarian government. The laws are on the books. The only thing that is restraining it is the will of the people. And what this campaign is all about is to make sure that the will of the people is expressed loudly enough to let everybody know that that is not what we want. We want our freedom and we want protection under the Constitution. Another issue that I've talked a lot about, and I think it is very important, and that has to do with national sovereignty. I believe that the most important part of sovereignty is the sovereignty of the individual, your right to your life and run your own life. But we do have a government, and I believe in that, and but our Constitution was written to strictly limit the federal government. Government should be local and kept at home. But instead of that, we have moved in the wrong direction. We have moved up the ladder because now we have a super government over and above ours, international government. And there's all kinds of excuses for international government. They have come especially in the 20th century because they were designed to get us not to fight wars anymore, but the wars have persisted and they have become political wars. They're undeclared wars for us, and they never end. And this is one reason why I argue strongly the case for saying we as a nation should never go to war without a constitutional declaration of war, and when we do it, fight it to win it and get it over with, and never go to war under a UN resolution.